Jacob deGrom with AL rank, 7 shutout for deGrom over the weekend. And Bruce Bochy has seen so much, and if you heard him, Al and Ryan, talk about his start, he's in awe of him. He said it's not just his stuff, but command and pitchability. Yes. It's rare. You're shaking your head, yes. How have you seen his starts evolve over this year?
Well, first of all, I will say, Al, it is nice to see Jacob deGrom healthy. And look like he's healthy too, not pushing through it kind of like he did last year, right?
Yeah.
You know, where he was, I felt like to me, he was really trying to find it. But the thing that's really stood out to me lately, now he's been good all year, but lately, if you look at the last 5 starts from Jacob deGrom, he is on another level. 135 ERA, opponent batting average 165. And this down here is what's getting me. Pitches per innings pitched, he's down in the 13s. That is crazy efficient. And then the innings per start, look at this, 6.2 innings per game start. I love those numbers, right? And call it old school, whatever you want. When guys can get deep and they find ways to get deeper into games and be more efficient in how they do it. But 2 things that stood out to me, I want to go back to the last start. 2 things that really stood out to me from Jacob deGrom is what he's done against lefties. And the 2 things that stood out. Number 1, a lot of sliders to lefties, a lot of back foot sliders. He's starting to get that feel, just like it was back in those peak days with the Mets, right? So look at this slider on that back foot. Boom. He's throwing this way more than you would expect him to throw, that fastball and that changeup combination to lefties. We're seeing this pitch, and you're starting to see the 89, 90s, a little sharper with that, the velocity starting to creep back up, not quite to the 92s that we saw, but the movement's starting to get there, and this has been a big weapon. A lot of punch-outs against the Washington Nationals on that slider from Jacob deGrom. The usage of that pitch has gone up. And then what that does too, as you know, it gets him off that fastball. Look at this, against lefties. He talked about has to be better against lefties. March and April, 333, 261. All of a sudden, month of June, he's starting to find it. And it's not so much for that fastball changeup combination. He's throwing that slider down and in. And I think too, watching this outing against the Nationals, I want to pull up the, let's have a look at the fastball right here. Down and away, most of the time, we know he lives down there, just painting the corner. The command is through the roof, but check out the velocity. I hate to go back to it, but you've got to start looking at the 97, 98, 97.7 is where he averaged with that pitch. Now, by the way, if you pause it for a sec. Take a look, 7th inning. This is what I love. He's maintaining the 97, 98s as he gets deeper into the game, and I love to see that. We talked about seeing him healthy and seeing him able to get deep. He's been efficient, but this is what stood out to me. 7th inning, and then he just blows the doors off Nate Lowe, who, by the way, does not chase that pitch. Former teammate doesn't go up there and chase it. So really good to see what he's doing against lefties. He touched on that. But one other thing, and this is why I'm looking forward to jumping up on the mound about this from Jacob deGrom, is what he does off that front side, that front foot. So if you roll the tape, you can listen to him. He's talking about this after that start against the Nationals.
I was thinking too much about how I was breaking my hands versus just like hitting the target. So now my hands feel like they've kind of fallen into place. My arm's getting up on time. I felt like I was kind of, early on, I was throwing before my front foot was down. So, you know, it's more of a feel thing, because if you look at it on tape, you can't really see it. So it was more just a feeling in that last start and then trying to bring it into to today.
So I'm glad we're both here, because we can both talk from this. Getting the feel of that front foot, it's so important, right? In regards
Back
to...
that up, Lucas. All right, so go ahead. What do you got?
So two things. Number 1, he talked about when you get conscious about your hands or anything upper body, or what can happen. I tell this to kids all the time. When you start trying to feel through that upper body, you tend to turn and get into a throwing position in thin air. In other words, you're starting to rotate that upper body before that front foot lands. You need to have those breaks. They call it, the kids now call it lead leg block, right, where you land off that front foot. Nothing from the waist up should be moving.
So go ahead and show it.
All right, so I land here, boom, I'm landing, and then from the waist up, the hip can go, then the hip can throw the shoulder can throw the hand. So what Jacob deGrom was talking about, he was talking about when you're separating these hands, all of a sudden, he's getting to this place where everything's starting to rotate just a little bit early, as opposed to the feeling of that foot, and then zap, everything goes off that front foot.
I've always loved Jacob deGrom's delivery. I think it's the poster for anybody you want to teach your kid and others. The efficiency, the kinetic chain, all of it, the triple extension that he has when he lands. What I heard was, here's a guy who's got 2 Cy Youngs. He's had the injury. his second Tommy John. Last year they brought him back for 4 starts just to kind of get his feet underneath him for this year. I watch a lot of Ranger games for obvious reasons with my son. He's every bit as good as he was when he won the Cy Young, and I don't say that flippantly or lightly. Right. And the reason why, because Jake, for a guy that throws 100, there was a period of time when in your head, if I'm not clicking occasional hundreds, Right. And I don't care who you are, I don't care how many Cy Youngs, I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer. You know this is a game of insecurity and doubt and all this other stuff that creeps in.
Trust me, I've dealt with that.
We all do.
Yeah.
We could do an entire day's worth of shows of that. So his mind is clear. It's not about his delivery. It's about efficiency, which is good. He gave up some early home runs to lefties, and he was backdooring sliders, and he was leaving some heaters middle. So that was cleaned up of his 9 home runs with lefties. What the biggest thing that you're spot on about this is his location. We're talking about a guy that throws 98, 99 miles an hour, and he's impeccable with his command, and I'll show it at the end with the heat maps, but that's the most impressive thing aside from his stuff.
Well, I think too, and you make a great point, because when you're just popping hundreds like it's nothing, right? You can just fly down the mound and your mind is clear. When you start trying to get into these little minuscule where my hands are and everything upper body,
but
everything starts to slow down.
Ryan, we know this. When you get to a place where you think that there's, give up a home run, give up a few runs, all of a sudden now, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Right. You left one out over the plate, the guy popped you and you get a homer. All right, I want to show this, because people are going to say, oh, come on, Al, it's only 4%. Oh, come on, Al, it's only 9%, 8%. Jacob deGrom, he's fastball slider, as you alluded to. He is unbelievable with that. To win a Cy Young, to basically throw fastball down and away, slider down and away. We could show that as you were showing the 98s. The glove doesn't move. So he's got fastball, slider away. What he's doing, and I believe it's going to even increase, if he increases this usage just a little bit, when it comes down to, if somebody says, oh, come on now, it's only 8. If I throw 8 changeups to Cal Raleigh in a key count in the 4th inning, or pick your left-hander, that can do some damage, to get him off of my obvious of my fastball slider, that's the difference. And as that grows, there lies your pitcher. You become more encompassing. And also, too, if you don't have a feel for a slider, your velocity's down a little bit, I'm going to go to some backdoor curveballs. I'm going to throw a couple more changeups. Here's some get-in-the-count curveballs. 78, boop. Oh, here's your Mariners right there. In the count, hee-haw, strike 1. That's a good way to start the delivery. Backdoor curveball. It's a few here and there to get a guy off of. Everybody knows he's going to throw upper 90s fastball with a slider. These changeups are filthy. So you add a few of these selectively in the right spot. You look at the command on this is unbelievable. It really is. This is beautiful artistry. Change up out of his hand, you see it, he throws it. His delivery is great. Everything about Jacob deGrom, honestly, it's fun to watch, because it's not only phenomenal stuff, you have a 3rd and 4th pitch that looks like that.
See, I think he kind of...
One last thing, hold that. I can't say enough of this. On Baseball Savant, when you show this, the deeper red is where the majority of the pitches are, okay? So he goes high cheese upstairs, he'll paint down and away as well, and then you got his slider. So you got slider, back foot, as you showed to the lefties, and then also the high fastballs, and I wanted to show this. Where do you want to throw your changeup? Where do you want to throw your curveball? Yeah. This is really, really good when it comes to command and control.
Right. Yeah, this is, and you're covering all those quadrants. I see, and I was watching yesterday, on Saturday, Jacob deGrom. I'm sitting there going, hey, where are the changeups at against the lefties? And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, man, if he throws that pitch in this count as I'm watching, it's like you talked about, it just gets him off that fastball. I think he was kind of using that slider maybe. There was a few times early on in counts to get him off that fastball. But I'm with you. If he can get that changeup, especially back to lefties, game over.
Also, too, you know this. You get into a game, you find out, is this an aggressive team? Do they swing early?
Absolutely.
Do I have to expand? Can I expand? Do I expand early? Like the Nationals, very aggressive team. Tampa Bay was an aggressive team. Even going back to the Cardinals in his last 3 starts. So, yeah, he's fun to watch, guys. Obviously.
Love for his delivery. I never hear you say that, Al, that he's the poster child for delivery. Pretty awesome.
He is.
Good stuff, guys. Thank you.
Great stuff.